Hi, video number 3, trying to get it right. I'm Dean from Holwell Hyde Heritage, and this is my last video for YouTube. I'm outside Panshanger Aerodrome on the south side. It's been fenced off now since about 2014. The security companies who man it have changed hands. The owners who man it have changed hands from Mariposa to Homes England, who is a government body, which is a quango of another government body. So during my research of history and sewage infrastructure, I really dug into the history, and as this is going out on YouTube, hi, Your Majesties of Bosnia and the Netherlands, thank you for getting in touch regarding the history. I contacted about your grandfathers who flew here at Panshanger Aerodrome and their tiger moths. And also to the Queen, Ma'am, thank you. And there's a lot of history here. And past these woods, going this way, the Decoy Factory. So this site I discovered was in its own right a decoy factory and a decoy aerodrome. People used to associate it as a decoy factory, the whole system. But in fact it was two. It was a decoy aerodrome and a decoy factory. As a decoy aerodrome, it was relief landing ground. De Havilland brought their tiger moth fleet from Hatfield de Havilland over to Panshanger. And a lot of recent developments is in the history side. Since I stopped doing history, the SOE, the Special Operations Executive, used this aerodrome to fly agents into Europe. We know that they used Lysander in the fields and taking off, and because the width of the wheels fitted the troughs of the tractor lines as they ploughed the field. So, you could take off in secret, but this was already a secret aerodrome. And just half a mile from this aerodrome is an SOE installation, an underground light gauge railway, which is still there with 3 tracks that go off. And those tracks have been seen 1 mile out from that point of origin. So we have the SOE using this aerodrome. It's a decoy aerodrome. It also went on to train 4,800 pilots in World War II from all over the world, including the Turkish Air Force. It looks quite, let me change arms here. It looks like it's met its demise, and it looks like it's going nowhere. It looks like they're going to build the houses as promised. Homes England, they want to build on a parcel of land that's been reserved for an airstrip, because I believe their argument is, well, nobody's going to want to use it. As it turned out, this is interesting, I've got to tell you this, right? The local council, they put out like a consultation regarding the new aerodrome. So about 500 or 600 people in the local area, they went in, they put their names down, they including me. We believe that we're going to get this parcel of land. But what the council did, now these guys are planners, these are expert people, they've got PhDs, degrees. These are not the kind of people that make mistakes, but apparently they made a mistake. Which was they counted on the plan of the aerodrome from where the houses would start, the new built houses would start on this aerodrome here, across the area reserved for land as an airstrip, to the next boundary, which is owned by other persons. They included the next boundary, which is owned by other persons, into the width, which then, when they found out, well, they didn't really find out, we found out, we told the council, they've made a mistake, sorry me, sorry you, blah blah blah. So now the width is too narrow for CAA regulations to have an aerodrome. How convenient. So now we have here what basically is, you can't have an aerodrome on an airstrip which is too narrow for CAA regulations. So in theory, you can build on it. So this is the argument I think Homes England, they want to sort of use that. But look, it's been reserved as a parcel of land for an airstrip. It should never be built on. It should never be built on, or even apply for planning permission to build on it. It should be just left. So this is Dean from Holwell Hyde Heritage saying to Homes England, I appeal to your good nature and good sense. Do not build on that piece of land. This is for the community. Anyway, changing arms. So here I am. This is the old clubhouse. This is where the pilots used to meet, the modern day pilots used to meet for the training. This here, I don't know if my arm's pointing in the right direction. There we go. That there is the old cinema room. And then on the other side, you've got the link trainer. The link trainer, interestingly, in World War II, this is where they taught night pilots how to fly on navigation. So night pilot flying for major air forces sort of started kind of during World War II. I mean, I'm sure there were people doing it before World War II because it was a new field of learning. So let me just turn the camera around, if I may. No, I'll just take a photo of myself. Okay, so I spent over 6 years studying the sewage infrastructure based on one document that the local community group had made available to the community. I personally was not involved with Save Panshanger from the start. I heard, like anybody else, I was coming out of the fireworks night, the people standing outside the gates giving up leaflets saying the aerodrome's going to close in the next year, which it didn't. I think it was 2 years. And yeah, I said to the person, not on my watch. But you know, that's a nice comment to say, not on my watch, because everybody felt the same way, not on their watch, you know. And I took the information. My gut instinct was telling me that the council were not going to play fair, and I went straight to government. I petitioned government straight away for the first couple of weeks, and I had a meeting with one of the bigger developers, not these ones, and who said that my petitioning of government opened a door for their development to take place in the local area, and that's the power of petitioning. But then Save Panshanger asked me to join. I then joined. Then I saw this information about the sewage document. A solicitor had, I don't know who it was. You know, when you go through unless you're part of a committee, which I wasn't, and they didn't have a committee at the time, you're going to find thousands and thousands of pieces of information. And I just saw this one piece of information about sewage infrastructure, that it said that not quoting exact words, but to build on this aerodrome, you would have to have a direct connection to the southern outfall at Rye Meads. And I thought, oh, that's interesting. So I started looking at the sewage infrastructure documents that were made available, and boy, they were long, like 1,000 pages long, 500 pages long. I thought, I haven't got the stomach for that. So basically, I just cherry-picked the one I thought would be more interesting, which was the 2009 water cycle study. And as it happened, it was a jackpot. And I studied that document. I petitioned Thames Water, the local council, Welland Hatfield Borough Council. I petitioned just about every infrastructure partner who was mentioned in that document. Even the authors who wrote it, there were two people who wrote the actual document, who said that there must be a southern outfall to Rye Meads and a direct connection. Now, direct connection is the southern outfall. Welland Garden City has a southern. Basically, there are three sewers in the local area. You have the Welland Garden City southern outfall, the Mimram trunk sewer, and the North Western outfall sewer. One connects to the other, then connects into Rye Meads. What these people are saying, you need a new sewer that goes from here straight to Rye Meads. It becomes a super sewer, and you're looking at somewhere between 6 and 9 miles long, and as well as a southern outfall connection at the sewage plant. Bearing in mind, a lot of the sewage infrastructure information out there is saying Rye Meads cannot handle this. So I've researched it thoroughly. I've somewhat become a bit of a technical genius in the sense of sewage infrastructure, because now I tend to know more about sewage infrastructure than most companies do. And it's not putting a big head on myself, it's because I was looking to save an aerodrome. I needed to find out. As it turned out for me at the time, I was unemployed for a year, so that really helped. So we have this information about sewage infrastructure that's come out. They can't build houses here because the sewage infrastructure cannot cope. If they're going to build, they'd have to build something like 3 extra sewage works. Now, I took the same if you can imagine, I spent 6 years at least studying sewage infrastructure for Panshanger Aerodrome, the Rhine Reach catchment. I then took that knowledge and helped out a community group in North Essex, Sailing Aerodrome, Andrewsfield. I took that information. I did a bit of, I did 6 months investigatory work for them. They had something like, incredible, something like 32 sewage works covering the whole of North Essex, and most of them were at capacity. So I gave the information in, that helped their local plan, and it helped to get a positive decision for the community group. So I know my information works, I know my studying works. Just here they've been a bit like, they won't let go. It's like a pit bull with a rag, you won't let go. So this is Dean at Holwell Hyde Heritage saying, it looks over, it seems over, they've already started doing preparation for building, but I'm saying it's not over until it's over. Thank you.